President Joe Biden made his first public remarks yesterday since announcing he was dropping out of the presidential race and endorsing his Vice President, Kamala Harris. The president called into the now Harris campaign headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware, late yesterday to speak to staffers ahead of Harris's own remarks as the president continues to recover from COVID-19 at his home in Rehoboth Beach.
I know yesterday's news was surprising and it was hard for you to hear, but it was the right thing to do. The name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning. You know, what we still need to save this democracy. And Trump is still a danger to the community. He's a danger to the nation.
The president remained on the call after the vice president began addressing staffers.
Joe, I know you're still on the call, and we've been talking every day. You guys heard it from Doug's voice. We love Joe and Jill. We really do. They truly are like family to us. And we do, everybody here does.
It's mutual.
I knew you were still there. You're not going anywhere, Joe.
I'm watching you, kid. I'm watching you, kid. I love you.
I love you, Joe. Oh.
President Biden is expected to make a public on-camera address of some sort about his decision to drop out of the race at some point this week. He is slated to return to the White House later today. Joining us now, best-selling author and NBC News presidential historian, Michael Beschloss. Michael, a pleasure to see you this morning.
Same, Jonathan.
You've had now a couple of days to think on this, from President Biden's decision on Sunday to not seek re-election, to step aside, to endorse his vice president. Tell us now as to where you think this will be remembered in history.
Well, I think this could be the moment that this presidential race has been transformed. History may have been changed, and the system worked. You know, in 1988, for instance, before the Republican convention, George H.W. Bush was running maybe 17 points behind Michael Dukakis. He had a great convention, things somersaulted. Same thing in 1992. Bill Clinton was at one point running third behind Ross Perot and George H.W. Bush, had a great convention, and suddenly he was in the lead by 17 or 18 points by some polls. What we've seen in the last couple of days is an effort by leaders in the Democratic Party and rank and file to say, we love Joe Biden, we honor his record, but we don't think he's going to be the strongest presidential candidate for him this year. Joe Biden listened, a change was made, and now, as I say, this is a very different race. That's what happens in a democracy. If you have a party that behaves like a dictatorship, the candidate stays on, whether he or she is the best or not.
Yeah, let's speak about what is so uniquely American, the idea of transferring power. In this case, President Biden handing off to his running mate. And, of course, we saw that very concept threatened, endangered on January 6th. Give us your thoughts.
Well, it was almost poetic because, you know, this presidency began the Biden presidency, just as you're saying, Jonathan, January of 2021, when Donald Trump tried to steal a second term as president, violate the law, wage an insurrection against the Constitution and the Congress that might have even led to assassination. There were certainly signs of that. And Joe Biden was the one who came in and consistently through this presidency, he has said, my great mission is to preserve democracy and let it flourish. We even heard that in that bite from that telephone call that you played a couple of minutes ago. And so as this presidency ends, within his party, he consulted his leaders. He said, all right, I'm sure he doesn't want to lead. Presidents and political leaders never want to give up power, but he did. He put the country before himself. And the result is that there is now a standard bearer, Kamala Harris, with great energy. You know, prosecutor, has been in state office, elected attorney general, elected vice president, foreign policy experience, who's equipped to take the case to Trump. And I heard you say it a little bit earlier this hour, the Democrats would be probably justified if they pick up that slogan that you mentioned, the cop versus the con.
Yeah, so let's get your assessment here, actually, on the vice president. Your thoughts on her evolution in office and what her candidacy looks like in terms of taking on Trump, but also what it may mean to people.
Well, vice presidents usually have an extremely hard time. I was just mentioning George H.W. Bush, who we historians think of as a very substantial president, did a lot to end the Cold War in a way that we never could have imagined. But when he was Reagan's vice president, he was there in this vice presidential role. Jimmy Carter always said he thought that as vice president, George H.W. Bush looked sort of goofy because he was so determined not to outshine the boss. That is true of almost every vice president who serves. And so when you see a vice president running for office, it's an entirely new role. So we're going to be discovering what I consider to be Kamala Harris's formidable leadership qualities. In some cases, voters will, for the first time, they're going to learn about them very soon.
And of course, were she to win, her election would be certainly historic. Best-selling author and NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss. Michael, thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.